The strange thing is that you didn't even tell me about how much this is going to cost me. Now I'm scared. The
Because
transaction
we're
is
all the
done.
way in here.
The transaction is done, but you didn't tell me how much
No,
you're going to charge me.
I forgot
And I don't want
to
to
ask.
disappoint you. And then you say to them,
Oh gosh.
our service is free. Where do you get that? Your private banker does not have the skill to negotiate the interest rate for you with their bank.
With their bank. That's
No,
right.
they don't have that.
That's
Our
a bit
people
of
out
information to
there,
have.
they still think that putting your money in stock files is an investment.
Wow.
It's not an investment. Invest in property.
Because it grows exponentially.
If you are able to put 10,000 rands in a stock file and you've been doing this for more than 5 years, how far would you have been in your bond?
Today, I'm excited to have Mfundu here with me in the chair. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mfundu.
Thank you so much, Olen, for inviting me. It is such a pleasure to be here.
Such a pleasure. It's been a long time coming. We've been chatting about us having this recording session. And, you know, Mfundu is one of our senior consultants, home loan sales consultants for Multinet. Multinet home loans, and we assist clients like Mfundu assists his clients in the same way that I assist my clients with securing the absolute best finance options for them.
Absolutely.
Yes, tell me a little bit about your story. Have you always been in the home loans sort of industry, or where has this journey come from to leading you onto the Multinet path?
You know, Alan, believe it or not, from a very young age, I used to collect listing magazines.
Wow.
There was no Property 24 at the time, or private property. I used to collect listing magazines, and what led to that was that my parents' house, which I call home, was almost repossessed twice.
Wow.
Because they couldn't afford the bond repayments. And I never understood, how is it you guys are both working? How is it you can't repay your bond? But that's not something that they would share with me because I was young. I think I was doing grade 7 or grade 6
at the time.
But that bothered me because people used to come and view the house while we are in there.
Wow.
And it used to frustrate my parents. It used to scare me because I knew that we were going to lose the house. From that moment, when I walk into a mall at a Pick and Pay or a ShopRite, there will be that stand where the listing magazines would sit. And at the back there, it would show you how much you pay if you take a bond of 800,000 or 500,000. So I wanted to understand, what is it that they are unable to afford? Why can't they afford? But from that time, being curious about that, I fell in love with the industry. I still have some of those listing magazines from years and years. They look dull and brown now, but I still have them as memories that has led me to where I am today. And
fantastic.
When Property 24 came, I would sit on Property 24 every day looking at houses. I come from finance. I used to work for Capitec Bank. I worked for ABSA. It was Barclays Africa at the time. And the home loans department was next door to our office. And people used to think that I work in that office because I would be there every day.
Every day.
Watching what is it that they're doing. That was before they moved to Sanctuary City.
Yes,
they
the
used
big
to be
office
here,
over
yes,
there.
They used to be here
That's
at Lower
right.
Long Street.
That's right.
Close to where we are
the
right
head
now.
office there.
And I used to go to that office and I fell in love with this. And the love grew and grew. And over the years, I met Karen. She works for Multinet. She's based in Somerset.
That's right.
And I would give her leads.
To process
for you. Yes.
How did you meet her though? How did that come about?
So I asked an agent, how do you get people pre-qualified for a bond? And that agent said, I use this lady in Somerset West. Her name is Karen. You can refer people to her as well. And I used to refer people to her.
Is that?
And I was then introduced to Multinet that way.
Through Karen, with being a lead provider.
Yes, she's the lead provider. I was not.
Yes, of course. But you would just send her business because, of course, that was at your core, helping clients to secure their home
Even
loans.
before I was in the industry.
And that is amazing because you know what, that was the training ground.
It was the training ground.
I'm actually so inspired by the story because you know what, you turned something that was a dire strait
into a career,
situation, and it intrigued you to learn so much more so that people out there won't be in the same position. And now you're empowering people to actually getting that better interest rate from the start.
Yes.
And maybe getting their costs also included, all of that, to make sure they don't end up, in that position.
True.
So that you can prepare them for the way.
Absolutely. I always say to people that my duty and role in this life, it is to improve people's lives by making home ownership a reality. And ever since I've joined Multinet, I have done that, and it brings so much joy in my life. I always joke and say to people, if I don't make it to heaven because of my sins, God will look at the work that I've done in this industry, and He will say, you have helped a lot of people secure homes. You have helped people that didn't even know that they can buy a house. Now they own houses.
I mean, they would have been renting. They would have been renting. They wouldn't have known that it would have been
renting.
Possible.
People who stay in informal settlements, nurses and teachers, who didn't even know that they can buy a house.
They are able to actually do that.
And the feedback they give me, and me being in the center of that, it's so beautiful. It's so heartwarming.
Yes.
Honestly speaking, it feels like I'm doing God's work.
That is
by
incredible.
Doing this. I love what I do.
That is
It's
incredible.
beautiful. I've got a lot of success stories that I'd love to share with you.
Yes.
One of them being a lady who had a judgment for years. I worked with her for an entire year trying to sort that out. That lady has got a house in Strand.
Guided her throughout that process.
Throughout. I spoke
and that must have been such an intimidating thing for her, to
Absolutely.
Or even, self-esteem wise,
Absolutely.
not believing that
Absolutely.
This can be possible.
Yes.
But it is.
Your colleagues are buying houses, they own houses, the only thing you have is a car. And here comes this bond originator that is not about the value of the property you're buying, but it's about you owning a home. It doesn't matter how much the bond is for, but the fact that I'm able to transform someone's life, another woman's child, empower them so much that they own a home, it's such a huge milestone. Such a huge milestone.
Such a big milestone for her and for her to leave a legacy.
Absolutely.
For her family.
Absolutely.
Changing the dynamics of family generations where they've owned land now to having to just, rent the land. To change that story for a family is huge, and to leave something, for your loved ones when you pass on.
That's something beautiful.
And that is just full circle. I love that. I love that.
I always say that, and I've seen that it comes natural for a woman to want to buy a house, because women are people that nurture us. They home us in their wombs from the beginning. And when we are born, they see the need to home us again. I'm telling you, the amount of buyers out there, we have more women buying properties than men.
Yes.
A lot of men out there, they're buying expensive cars.
Yes,
and even those who are buying houses, they are being guided by the women in their lives. This is more important. We need to have a home.
We need to have a home. Stability.
Stability.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
A home for our children.
Yes.
It comes natural for women. And a lot of my clients are women.
That is incredible.
I serve a lot of women, a lot of black and colored women who didn't even know that it's easy, it's possible to own a house. When they see the installment that they'll be paying, I wish that there was someone like that in my parents' life to guide them and say, if you buy this house at this price right now, 6-7 years down the line, you might struggle. How about you buy something cheaper? Nobody was there for them.
Maybe less expensive.
Nobody was there for them.
You can forecast.
That's how they fell into
the trap.
A hole of, of almost losing their house twice. I don't want any of my clients to ever witness that. No child should know that my parents are about to lose their home.
No, not
they
at all.
Now, having a bond originator that goes over and beyond the call of duty, it's something else.
Sure, that is next level.
It's something else.
That is next level, because it actually goes deeper than just the finance side of things. You are impacting lives.
It's personal.
It is personal.
It's a people-centered approach.
That's right.
You talk to someone on the phone. You meet up with them if you have to, so that you understand their story, because that story will form part of your motivation when you write your motivation to the bank.
That's right.
Why do you believe that this person should get a bond?
Should get the bond.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
you are entrenched and engaged with the story.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Exactly.
You are committed to seeing it through. Yes.
So it's You know, I feel that that's the case with the entire Multinet family. It's really not about the transaction. It's about the relationship.
Love
I've
that.
seen this among my colleagues. They do the same thing. I think
Yes.
that's what makes Multinet special as well, and makes it stand out from other origination firms out there. To us, it's not just about the transaction, the paperwork, and all that. No, it's about the family that you're assisting,
Yes.
the people that are going to be starting a
Yes.
family, buying a house. All in, you will see people selling their cars to pay for costs. I would rather that than you taking a higher
Another
bond.
loan.
You understand what I'm
Oh,
saying?
yes.
Yes.
And at a high interest, and then, struggling to make ends meet. No. Rather do away with that expensive, vehicle finance. And that's what I love about your story on how you unpacking the pre-approval process. You're actually going, like you say, above and beyond. You're going that extra bit of wavelength, and you are saying, let's look at the full picture here. Let's make this happen, solution driven,
Yes.
and to
Yes.
making it majorly affordable
Yes.
is the key thing.
Yes.
Because the person that is purchasing, the family that is purchasing through you, you want to see them live a fulfilled life.
Yes.
And not have to think, oh, this is such a big burden to
It shouldn't
bear.
be a burden.
This is a joy.
It shouldn't be a burden at all.
Yes.
It should be a breeze. Alan, you can't let someone take a bond where the repayments are going to result
them.
in them not being able to have food.
That's it.
Then
There
you
we
have a
go.
fridge with an onion and a cabbage and water. It's not worth it.
No.
They're not going to
No.
be creating beautiful memories in that home. You want them to have that Sunday course.
And
You
what
want
is
them to
that?
have a Sunday
does that
course
mean?
is it's a Sunday lunch.
Oh, I
when
see.
you come back
Yes.
from church.
Oh, so the feast.
Yes,
you need
the
to be
feast.
able to feast on that
You
Sunday
have to.
lunch.
You need to build those memories
Yes.
for your children, for the
Yes.
grandchildren.
It must be a joy, a complete joy.
What's the point of having a home if you can't enjoy it? And
I love
and
that.
enjoying your home means cooking hearty meals in your kitchen
Yes.
with your family, your children running
That
around.
speaks to me big time.
Now imagine having a bond originator that understands that.
Yes. Oh,
And I think
absolutely.
that's what Multinet is about, and that's what I have learned from Multinet, that this is not just about finance, it's about people. People coming to you, telling you their stories.
Yes.
And
yes.
you are in the center of that, trying to change that narrative. And having to accomplish that, I'm telling you, all in money or no money, it gives you something inside that tells you you have achieved something.
Oh,
And that's just so beautiful.
that is
for me.
amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing. And it definitely speaks so much more loudly to somebody that is, starting out in buying a home.
Yes.
It definitely resonates
Yes.
so
Yeah.
much more than, somebody that's calling in and you treating them like a transaction.
No.
This is just another client, this is just another number. And how many times do people experience this when they go to the banks direct?
Olan. The time you step out that door, they don't even remember your surname.
Yes.
They remember nothing about you. The only thing they remember is the value of the bond.
That's it. Yes.
And that's it. Everything else doesn't matter.
Yeah. It's transactional.
But
It's
working with a
transactional.
bond originator, you get someone to guide you right through to attorney stage.
Even
following
before,
up.
like you did with the judgment
You understand what I'm saying?
rescission.
Would they get
Who's
that
going
if they were
to
sent
do
to the
that?
bank? No.
Nobody's going to do
No.
that. And at no cost.
At
At absolutely no cost. Do you know how many people come to me and they're like,
how much do you charge for
how
this?
much do you charge for
How much
this?
do I owe
And
you?
then how much do I owe you? Because that's how much value we provide. You are providing that much that people can actually see. I need to pay this person. I need to pay you.
I'm glad
how
you
do
raised
I
that
pay
up
you?
because we get that a lot. People ask, this must be very expensive considering the work that you've
The
put in
work.
on this. And the strange thing is that you didn't even tell me about how much this is going to cost me. Now I'm scared. The
Because
transaction
we're
is
all the
done.
way in here.
The transaction is done, but you didn't tell me how much you're going to charge me.
forgot
And I don't want
to
to
ask.
disappoint you. And then you say to them,
Oh gosh.
our service is free. Where do you get that?
Never. No way.
Where do
No.
you get this quality of service
The quality.
at no cost?
It's a game changer.
It's a
It's a
game
game
changer.
changer, and it's like you say, it's changing and impacting people's
Yes,
lives in such a
every day.
beautiful way.
Every day.
I love that. I
So
love that.
you know, Olin, the other thing that I've noticed is that
I love that.
Olin, the other thing that I've noticed is that I think we haven't done the work that we need to do as yet. People don't know about bond origination.
There's
Yes,
still so
agents
many
know, yes,
people.
banks know, but your ordinary people out there, they don't know what is a bond origination. They don't know that you can go to someone, a professional, and guide you through your home buying journey until the end and beyond that, yet you don't pay that person. Someone saw an
So much
initiation
impact.
fee on the final grant, and then she asked me, "Is this your fee?" I said, "No, that is the cost of processing your loan application at the
With the
bank.
bank.
My fee is nowhere in this. There is no fee. You are not going to
Absolutely
pay
nothing. Yes.
nothing. So, but all the work that you've put in, I pay you nothing. Please let me buy you a cool drink." No,
Something.
no. You know, I always say to people when they want to offer me something, I say, if there's a way that you want to thank me, besides telling your colleagues about
Telling
me and telling
everyone,
your friends
yes.
about me, I
Spread the
always
good
say,
word.
pray for my success.
Oh,
Pray that
wow.
I'm able to continue doing this
Continue.
for as long as I can, because I do not want to stop doing this.
Amazing.
I want to continue doing this until everyone that is able to buy a house owns a house.
Has owned
Every
a
teacher should own a house.
yes.
Someone will say, "No, I have a house in the Eastern Cape. I'm here for work." I'm saying, but the amount of rent you're putting in someone else's bond on a monthly basis, is it worth it? It can't be worth
No.
it.
Yeah.
Put that money. If you don't want that house, at the end you can always sell it and make a profit out of
Yes,
that.
correct. You
Then you
can
can
then
take your money and go
invest it.
retire if you want. Do you
Correct.
understand what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yes.
And
It's always going to be a win.
it's always going to be a win. It's all buying a property is always a win.
Yes.
We are there to educate people
Yes.
about that.
About it. Yes.
No one else is going to do it
It's
for
such a
them.
wealth creation. It's wealth creation for our generation
It
to come.
is.
Because investing in that, your return on it, like you say, when you retire, you can sell that property. It's incredible, and it's such an impactful
Olen, our
bit of
people out
information to
there,
have.
they still think that putting your money in stock files is an investment.
Wow.
It's not an investment. Invest in property.
Because it grows exponentially.
If you are able to put 10,000 rands in a stock file and you've been doing this for more than 5 years, how far would you have been in your bond? You're paying rent.
Yes.
Yes, the stock file will get you excited because you get your dividends at the end of the year, and then you start again the following year. But this is what we call a wealth of memories, and it ends there. But when you buy a property, you are creating generational wealth.
That's
Something
it.
to leave your children with.
That is it.
We are
Yes.
there to guide people.
In that sense, yes.
You know what I'm
yes,
saying?
in that, and that is so much more rewarding and fulfilling.
Yes.
To be able to look at that bigger picture.
Yes.
And I love that. So I think definitely you've spoken to the true essence of what Multinet embodies, and that is people relationships.
Yes.
And making the person who you are servicing more important and putting them up there, at a level of importance beyond the transactional part of
Yes.
things.
Yes.
Our knowledge and expertise is definitely, it's
Oh,
there. It's throughout
and it's
because
needed.
it's continuing
needed.
expertise,
Yeah.
that we upskilling ourselves with. I'm sure you can
True.
agree. Lots of training sessions we're
Yes.
going on.
Yes.
Always speaking to our, banking partners
And the
that we
relationship
work.
we build with the banks.
The building of the
as well.
relationships, exactly.
It works in favor of the client at the end of the day.
Because the banks know about your attention to detail, Mfundu. They know how meticulous you are. They know how you've gone above and beyond to package this application, prepare this application, right? Because they know that about you. When your application hits their desks,
They
they
trust you.
see your name
And they're like,
and
this
they're
one
like,
is good.
this one's a good one.
Yeah, I'm not going to struggle.
I'm not going to struggle here.
The quality is
Mfundu's
excellent. How it's compiled, it's excellent. That puts your customer or your client at an advantage. Sorry.
at the top of
Yes.
the priority list.
Yes.
That knowing that there's somebody that has been looking after your case, that has gone through that attention to detail.
Yes.
The banks that we have relationships with, they also get to know Mfundu
Yes.
over the years that he's submitting all of these beautiful applications. that puts you in the front seat at the
Yes.
banks. That's what I love, because we are building relationships on both sides.
On both sides, yeah. So I love the fact that you sweep nicely into our relationships with the bank. So on a daily basis, we have bank liaisons that come to our office.
Incredible, yes.
So as you know, we
Yes.
work with all the banks in
That's
South
right.
Africa, including your Investec,
Yes.
including Old Mutual, including
Yes.
SA Home Loans. We work with all these stakeholders, all to the benefit of the client. So what people don't know is that because they have a private banker, they think that, no, I'm sorted. This one will handle everything for me. No, it doesn't work like that. Your private banker does not have the skill to negotiate the interest rate for you with their bank.
With their bank. That's
No,
right.
they don't have that.
That's
they,
right.
they don't have even a comparable quote to say,
There we go.
this bank has offered this client. Now imagine you doing that yourself. Were you
What
going to
a
get the
ni-
time
oh,
to go
the
to
time.
this bank and wait on the queue there for 45 minutes and
You
your
have
lunch
to
time is up?
Absolutely.
You
And
don't
you've
have
got
the
to
time.
chase that up as well.
You have to follow up yourself.
And you know, there's no update system.
No.
There's none of that.
You have to go back because who's going to
And
call you
on
all
the
the time?
line, oh my goodness,
You're
don't
gonna
go to
hold.
call centers.
You are going to hold.
Hold on forever.
But you have a
Your
bond
airtime's going to
originator.
be spent on all of that. You know, all of these costs are going to rack up. So
All for a decline.
that too.
Because
Imagine that.
just because you submitted to all the banks doesn't mean that all of them are going to give you a bond.
That's right.
No.
That's right. So that's where the packaging process comes in, that preparation
Yes.
process.
Yes.
It's so vital. You know, I've seen applications, I'm not sure if you can attest to this as well, where the application forms are completed and the expenses and things that are on there are not actually correct,
They are
or
not
there's
correct.
there's overinflated
They've duplicated
things,
other
duplicated
things. Yeah.
information, or they've put, instead of a gross salary, they put a net salary, you know, things like that. If that goes through the bank system,
They will work on it like that. They're not going to amend anything. They're not going to talk to you and say no. So what we do as bond originators, Olan, is that we guide you throughout. From your name to your signature at the bottom. You get
Absolutely.
expenses that are being deducted from your payslip. Then you
Yes.
see someone putting them again on the application form. We
You
are there
see
to say,
that.
you don't have to put this here. No, but I have to disclose everything. Yes, but this is there. It's on
It's
your
already
payslip.
there.
It's already calculated.
That's
So
right.
your net income is less that amount.
Correct.
So if you're putting it here again, it's going to be a duplicate. And the bank is not going to ask you, are you not paying for this? I see this here. They're going to take it
They're
on.
going to take it
because
on
you
because
signed
it's your
that.
declaration.
It's a declaration. So they're going to take that. But having a bond originator that is skilled,
I love it.
make sure that, no, take this out. Is this how much you spend on this? Yes, let's go through your bank statement and see if that's
Let's
the case.
meticulously
Then you say,
correlate.
that's not how much you spend on
That's
this.
right.
This is how much you spend.
That's
Even
right.
if we work on average, we see that you're spending less on this than you have declared on the form. Let's
Yes.
do it again together.
Let's do it again.
Then
Yes.
the application comes back successful because of the guidance
Just
of
about
an experienced
that.
person.
And that is key. That is
Yes.
key. That time that you've spent unpacking the paperwork,
It's a lot of time.
it's a lot of time.
It's a lot of time.
And it's free.
And it's free. It's free.
It's so good. I mean, with the value really, it's such a great value add to you as a home buyer to have someone like Mfundu and that just loves what he does. He exudes passion about what it is that he does in the process that's involved in securing your finance
Yes.
for you at the banks. You can see that there's such joy that you get
When I
from
talk
this.
about this, absolutely. Gino saw a status that I posted sometime, I think last week, if I'm not mistaken. I left the office after 8 o'clock at night,
Wow.
and he was shocked to see that I left the office that late. And we actually spoke about that this morning, and I said to him,
Sure.
it was on a Friday. Who stays at the office until that time on a Friday? And I said to him,
Wow.
I had to do those pre-quals because I do not want my agents to go for viewings with people that do not qualify for a bond.
Qualify.
So people do a lot of viewings over the
Amazing.
weekend.
Yes.
So me putting in the extra
That's
time on a
right.
Friday, I'm making sure that everyone that qualifies to buy a house gets out there and view the house that they want to buy. Making it
Confidently.
easy, confidently.
And they can go ahead and put an
Or
offer.
you put an offer. So it makes the work,
Yes.
it makes it easy for the agent as well.
Amazing.
That I'm taking people for a viewing that I know that they'll be able to buy this property. Unlike taking everyone,
Love it.
and you take people that later on not qualifying. They qualify for 500,000 rands, but they're viewing a 2 million rands house because they don't even know the difference.
That's the thing.
They don't even know how
Yes.
much you pay, what installment you pay on a 2 million house.
There's no knowledge factor
guide
there.
them.
You can't. Yeah. You need to prepare them
You prepare
for that
them.
process.
Yes.
You prepare them, empower them with the knowledge. They know now what price bracket to shop in. The agents are so appreciative.
Absolutely.
We take so much stress out of the
Everyone.
agents. The clients
The
are
banks.
so much more assured. The banks are so much more assured. The agents that we work through are so much more assured that everything is going to run
Yes.
smoothly.
Ollie, do you know that the banks prefer working with us than directly with the clients, in all honesty? Because they know that we will do all the paperwork on our side. When
And
we
we'll get it
present,
right. We get it right.
Absolutely. First time. And when we present this to them, it's gold.
It's solid gold. I
We've
love
done
that.
everything.
Your application is solid gold.
When it goes in the bank, it is solid gold.
It's going to come out like shiny, super shiny.
Same day.
Look amazing,
Same
right?
day.
That's also the thing. The quicker turnaround times that we can secure because of the preparation that you put in, the legwork, that groundwork, that 8 o'clock on a Friday night. How?
What can you compare that with? And all this for free?
All of this for free.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Guys,
You see the importance of bond origination.
it's so important. It's so integral.
This industry can't do without mortgage origination.
No, that's right.
Can't. That is why
Won't be able to
everyone that
function.
knows about bond origination, they love bond originators because they change people's lives.
That's right.
You talk to that banker and you say, can't let my client pay this much. Can you relook at this interest rate, please?
Going back to the drawing board.
This client is paying this, this, and that. We're talking about a single parent here.
That's right.
2 children.
That's right.
Who are at school paying this much. Yes, there is enough surplus, but we can't predict the future. What if the interest, remember what the interest rate was during COVID?
Correct.
It was less. I think about 7%, if I'm not
That's right.
mistaken.
That's right.
And a few years after that, we were 11.79.
Yes, back at 11.75.
People's installments doubled.
That's right.
And people struggled to pay
In
their
a space
amount.
of 3 to 4 years.
You get what I'm saying? We don't want our clients to experience, to go
With
through
everything
that.
else, also electricity.
Going up. Those are all the things that you think about when you're sitting with that client, taking them through a pre-qual and saying,
That's the
yes,
seriousness of the task.
yes,
That
yes,
is
I can
how
see you're
serious
pre-scored
you
for
take
this.
the
But
commission
I
to.
wouldn't suggest that you buy for this because in 2 years' time you might not
That's
afford
right.
these repayments. Yes, you love this house.
But you're on the edge, maybe.
You're on the edge already. Why put yourself there?
That's correct.
Don't. Let's do this. Now you have a professional that does that for you at no cost. Do you know how much financial advisors charge per session?
I know, that by the hour, right?
Do you know that we do more work than they do?
That's right. Because we're going into, like you just mentioned, the credit report on its own, figuring those things out, how to fix those things. We delve a lot deeper, into the root causes
Yes.
of things that can impact your application in a more positive light. So going all the way there. I love that story about you walking with a full year with your client, Mfundu.
Yes.
That
To
is-
make sure that
she's able to
when she
purchase.
when her bond was approved by SA Home Loans. She's a teacher. When her bond was approved that December, she was in hospital. And I gave her a call and I asked her if she can talk. She said, I'll always take your call, no matter the condition. And I said, I've got good news for you. Your bond has been approved. And there was a dead silence. There was a
To
dead
receive
silence.
that after a year.
And I said, did you hear that? She kept quiet. Then I looked at my phone, I'm like, did the phone cut? Then I called her name several times. She said, Puti, I'm here. Meaning, yes, Puti, I am here. I said, did you hear what I said? I said, yes, I heard what you said. What does that mean? What is a final grant? I said, that means your bond has been fully granted. No conditions. You're good to go. You also got finance transfer assist. from SA Homos, from a judgment to getting 100%
Full
loan to value
plus transfers.
plus costs.
Gosh.
You had a
that
judgment
is-
a few
That
months
is a
ago.
miracle.
And this guy that you've never even met, you spoke to on the phone all the time and on WhatsApp, this guy has treated you like family. It's as though he was helping his mother.
His own
That's how personal he
family
took this.
member.
Because at Multinet, we believe in the people-centered approach of doing business.
Yes.
And
yes.
with that approach, you are destined to change lives.
Destined for success.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much, Mfundu, for sharing the story of how you came to be with us at Multinet. And I just think you've enriched the Multinet family.
They've enriched me.
And yes, likewise, definitely.
My
It's
life
been
has
a
changed.
reciprocal,
My life has changed.
relationship. The culture, like you say,
Yes.
is for the people, and I think that you reciprocate
Yes.
that approach. You know.
Yes.